Candace, looks like you've been lying behind my back. I expected better of my daughter.
Hey, Dad. What do you mean? I haven't been lying about anything. Did I do something wrong? This is the first time you've been angry at me for a long time. Reminds me of when I came home late in high school.
Don't play dumb, Candace. I know what you've been up to. You think you could keep pretending to go to work without me finding out? Well, your secret wasn't hidden for long. I found out when you quit your company. Just what do you think you're doing? That's not like you. I want you to continue your career. I contacted your company and they told me everything.
It's not like I was lying to you, Dad. Sure, I didn't tell you, but it doesn't mean I was trying to hide it from you or anything. Jeez. Why'd you call my work in the first place? That's so creepy. I'm not a kid anymore. You don't need to baby me.
I'm just making sure you're making the right decisions and staying on track. I got curious about whether or not you were making progress at work. I was hoping they were going to tell me about the promotion you received, but I got the exact opposite news.
That's way too invested in my future. I think you need to back off a little bit, Dad. I'm an independent woman now, for Christ's sake.
Be that as it may, who you are reflects on me. A parent's greatest treasure is his own children. I can't let you stray from the path to success, or else I fail as a parent. Don't you see where I'm coming from?
Fair enough, but I think you took it too far calling my work. Whether or not I'm getting promotions at work has got nothing to do with you. It's my life.
Of course it has something to do with me. Your actions and choices reflect on me. You have gifts and potential, and it's your duty to be utilizing those gifts and potential. I want to know what you're up to. Actually, no. It's my right as a parent to know what you're up to. It's important you realize this. Soon, you will have children yourself and face the same issue I'm facing right now.
What do you mean, gifts and potential? I've never heard you talk about this before. I'm just like any other woman.
You have my blood running through your veins. It's your duty to use the gifts that I've bestowed upon you. For your whole life, I've been making sure you're exposed to situations that will further grow you into a woman. You won't believe how much time I've sacrificed for you.
Okay, so I have a lot of potential you want me to make use of. Sorry, Dad, but this sounds so ridiculous. Is it that big of a deal to you? Stop making a fuss about it, please. I'm happy with my life.
What do you mean ridiculous? This is very important to most parents. Maybe one day when you have kids of your own, you will realize that.
It's okay, Dad. I know why you're raving on about this. You recently had to retire and you have a lot of time on your hands. As a result, you're really bored and looking for some drama to excite your mundane lifestyle. Look, I know you must be lonely and lacking stimulation, but you still have your wits about you and your body is capable too. Why don't you look for another job? If you did that, I'm sure you'd find a new meaning to life and wouldn't bother me about what I do with mine. What do you think? Makes sense, doesn't it?
You're out of your element if you think that I'm going to start working again. Do you know how much I've worked in my whole life? I worked my butt off to make sure I can provide the beginnings of a great life for you. I've worked for over 40 years, so I think I've earned my respite.
Dad, I know this isn't the first time the thought would have crossed your mind. I've already talked to Mom. She told me you got an offer at a respectable company to re-enter the workforce. Not only that, but because of your experience, they were willing to offer you a good deal that put you way ahead of anyone else working there. Then she told me you turned them down. How could you? Other people would kill to get an opportunity like that. That really was a poor decision, Dad. Something like that doesn't come around every day.
Don't pretend like you're thinking what's in my best interest. I know the real reason you want me to throw myself back into the workforce. You're broke, admit it. You've just quit your job and don't have a proper source of income. You've gotten tired of being an adult and want to go back to being a child that is supported by her daddy. I'm right, aren't I?
Come on, Dad, don't be stupid. That's such a convoluted reason to quit my job. No one would quit and try to make their dad work to finance them.
You can try and hide it by calling it a stupid idea, but I can see you thinking about something like this after a tough day at work. Be honest, you're sick of working. You figured you could get away with it if I put my suit back on and started earning for the family again.
That's so disrespectful. Do you really take me for the type of daughter to leech off her father? When have I ever done something like that? Besides, even if I wanted to be financed by you, I already know far too well you're not the type to support me in that way. The thought of getting money from you has never crossed my mind.
You would receive a lot more kindness from me if you were more like your sister. The gap between you and Samantha has only widened since you quit your job. She studied hard to become an exceptional nurse, and now she's working around the clock to earn a good living. Have you heard the good news from her? Because of her diligence and dedication, she is up for consideration to be the head nurse. She's only worked there 1 year.
I know. She told me all about it. She's a hard worker since the very beginning. I can always see her getting far in life.
Honestly, a daughter you couldn't be any prouder of. Then there's you, the failure that couldn't even get into university. By some miracle or dumb luck, you managed to get yourself into a company, a rather small, unrecognizable one at that. Then, despite your insane luck in finding work, you quit with only a limited amount of years of service? It takes some insane arrogance to do something like that.
My decision and what I do with my life has got nothing to do with you. I'm not living day to day to please and gain your respect. You've got no right to tell me what I can and can't do. I'm a fully grown woman. If I want to quit my job, I have the freedom to do so. You can call me arrogant all you want. You don't know how I feel and my wishes.
Where do you get off saying something like that? As your father, it is in fact my right to tell you what to do. You quitting your job only further decreases your value as a woman. What kind of parent would I be if I just willingly let my children make mistakes their whole life? I've had this issue with you your whole life. You never had the tenacity that Samantha does. I've done my best to guide you in that direction, but my efforts are always for naught.
Don't you think it's about time you stopped comparing me to Samantha? So what if I'm not up to her standard? I create my own value as a woman even if I don't work. Don't you think that maybe the reason I'm not achieving as much as I could is because I'm constantly getting put down by you? What's the point in trying if I'll never reach Samantha's level?
I never said that you have to be like Samantha, but I don't know why you've never tried to walk in her footsteps. From the time she was just a little girl, she's been a gun at sports and the top of her class when it came to grades. Just to add icing to the cake, she thankfully took after her father in the looks department and is an absolute hit with the boys. You, on the other hand, resemble too many characteristics of your ugly mother. No work ethic, no athletic ability, and no feminine charm.
Say all you want about me, but don't you dare try and insult Mom. You don't have the right to put her down when she was the only fair parent between the two of you. She loved the good in Samantha the same way she loved the good in me.
The only reason she showed you affection is because you reminded her of herself the most. I guess losers like to stick around each other so that they can talk about how pitiful they are.
You were married to Mom for 40 years. You know she's not that type of person. She has no malice in her heart. She never thinks badly of her children and tries to make fun of them. I don't know how she could marry a cruel man like you.
She married me because she needs a capable man to support her. Don't think she loved you unconditionally. She probably felt sorry for how ugly you were and thought you needed the extra attention to feel like you had any value. If you really think she loves you wholeheartedly, why would she tell me she wants to throw you away after hearing you quit the company? Even she is displeased with your choices. Just so you know, just because you've quit your job doesn't mean we're cutting back on your expenses. You still have to pay the full amount for rent.
Of course. I don't expect any less. You don't need to hammer me about it.
So, what's the plan? Are you at least gonna get a part-time job in the area? Good luck finding work after you tell them you quit your job because you were bored. Not even a small company in desperate need would hire some lazy like you.
Don't worry, Dad. I have no plans on working for a company again. Far from it. I'm going to create my own company. I didn't tell anyone, but this is something I've wanted to do for a long time now. It's my dream.
Ha, good joke. I know you don't have the technical skills and passion to start your own company.
Why wouldn't I? You don't know the knowledge I've amassed and what my skill set is.
Idiots like you tried to create their own money train, and then they end up scrounging pennies on the street. Trust me, I can already see that you're falling into debt within minutes of creating your own company. You'd be better off accepting your incapability and start working like a normal person. You won't make money filling your head with fancy clouds like that. When you do start making money again, you can invest more into the household. It's about time you start pulling your weight around here.
Sorry, Dad, but you don't have a say in this. I'm going to continue on with my dream regardless of what you think. I've already been given the thumbs up from Mom and Samantha. They think it's great what I'm doing and are willing to support me if I need it.
Did they really? I don't have any idea what was going through their heads when they gave you the all clear for something as risky as that. It's not right giving someone like you false hope. They're setting you up for failure. It won't do you any good. Listen to your father if you want practical advice.
Sorry, Dad, but I'm gonna have to take this side. I don't want to listen to people that don't believe in me.
I know it makes you feel special saying that you're going to start your own company, but this is you clearly just making an excuse for quitting your current job.
Don't be stupid, Dad. No one would do something that risky just to quit their job. I'm actually passionate about what I'm about to do. I even have a plan about how I'm going to start.
Do what you want. I've done my best to try and steer you on the right path. If you want to end up living on the streets, go ahead. Don't say I didn't try to help you.
As usual, I knew you wouldn't support me. What can I expect? With the way you've treated me my whole life, why would it be any different when I'm trying to start my own company?
You don't know the embarrassment of having a child that doesn't succeed in anything in her life. Your actions reflect on me.
That's not true, Dad. I know you only have eyes for Samantha. It doesn't matter how well I do in life, you'll never look positively on me. It's been that way from the very beginning. You've always treated me like I've been in the way. But guess what? I don't care if you like Samantha more than me. I've accepted I'll never receive your love and just want you to let me be independent.
You're living in a fairy tale. I don't care how much people try to hide it. Everyone knows that the child that's doing the best gets the best treatment. Parents don't love all their children equally. The one that succeeds the most is the one that gets the most love. Parents that say that isn't the case are just lying to their children. So I did the proper thing and was honest with all my children. Doesn't matter whether or not the truth hurts them.
Even if that's the way you feel about your own children, do you honestly think it's okay to ridicule and embarrass them? Do you think a good parent calls their children ugly and failures? Do you honestly think it's okay to emotionally damage your children? Your parenting style is evil, Dad. I've put up with it for too long.
All I've done is prepared you for the real world. I've treated you in the same way that the world treats adults. It's undeniably better than finding it out later. In doing so, I've made sure people can never hurt you with comments like that. You should thank me for making you into a strong, impenetrable woman.
You have to be the first person to use such distorted parenting tactics. I can't believe you'd actually try and justify hurting me by saying it would make me tougher.
I'm sure every parent had thought this way and just didn't have the courage to tell their kids. Thanks to me, you knew the way of the world early. You should be thankful I've raised you this way. And as way of showing thanks, why don't you contribute more to the household? The children should give back to the parents. So, you've actually done it. your very own company. I shouldn't be surprised you had the nerve to disobey and insult me.
I've started my own company, and I don't give two crackers what you think about it. You can be insulted and annoyed as much as you want. It won't stop me from pursuing my dreams.
How many times did I have to repeat myself? Building a new company is not going to do you any good. You should have listened to me.
I wanted to do this way before you told me not to. Sorry, Dad, but your desires are irrelevant to me. If I was younger, you would have more control over what I do, but I'm an adult. You have no right trying to control me. I won't live my life in servitude to your wishes.
I'd be surprised if a company owned by you could even make $1 of profit. Just you wait. Give it 2 months and you'll be crying to me about being bankrupt. When that happens, let's hope I'm in a merciful and understanding mood.
I haven't set this business up for failure. I've put in the hours to ensure it's a top-notch, foolproof system that won't lose money. You don't understand the amount of preparation I've invested in it. I didn't just quit my job and start it on a whim. I've been saving up money for this for ages now.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That right there is the very thing that ticks me off about you.
What are you talking about? Creating a foolproof plan and being fully determined about something.
No, not that, you idiot. I'm talking about money. This whole time you've been saving up money and been paying us dirt for the house. Did you ever think to send some of it our way? So selfish to bum off your parents' kindness and not pay them back a cent.
Why should I be sending money your way? Am I a donation service now? This is my hard-earned money and I'll use it towards whatever I please. By the way, it's not like I've been missing my payments on the house. Every month I put in the exact amount we agreed on. I haven't missed one payment. Is there anything else you need to complain about? Because I'm really busy at the moment. I'd like to get back to my work.
Candace, it seems you don't understand exactly what I'm angry about. The fact that you had money to start your own business means you had a considerable amount of money that you could have given to us.
The reason I had that money in the first place was because I was smart and didn't spend it on luxury. It's not like you have the right to tell me what I spend my money on in the first place. Even if I did use my money on extravagant items, it's still my money.
Why don't you just shut your mouth and accept that what you did is wrong? We've given you so much money to raise you, now it's your turn to give back.
Anyway, Dad, what's done is done. I've saved up that money and I've put it to good use. My company is up and running, so I'm going to continue at the same pace I've been going. There's no point crying over spilled water. You can't change any of this now.
You're sadly mistaken if you think things end just that easily. I'm not letting you off the hook for this. I have a good punishment for something like this.
Oh yeah? What would that be? I'm already an independent woman with her own company, so it'll be very hard to hurt me.
I think that this will hurt you quite a bit, actually. I want you out of the house by today, and I'm not accepting any apologies.
Are you seriously gonna go that far?
I don't know why I didn't realize this earlier, but having you here in the home serves us no benefit. Not only are you useless when it comes to finances, but you do no housework and you're an ugly sight to see around here.
That's not true and you know it. I've paid all my expenses, do my share around the house, and I'm definitely contributing enough to be here.
Not good enough, I'm afraid. Get the hell out of my house, and I don't want to see you here ever again. Pack your bags and go. By the way, if you even think about stealing any of our items, we'll know immediately. When that happens, don't think I'll hesitate in calling the police.
You're serious right now? You actually want to kick me out?
This is the end of our connection as father and daughter. You are no longer family, friend, or even human to me. If you were walking past me on the street, you wouldn't be any different to the people surrounding you.
Do you really hate me that much? How can you be this angry over me building my own business? Any other parent would be proud of their child for doing something so great. I can't believe I'm that bad that you would kick your own daughter out of your house. For a grown man, that's a really childish move, Dad. I'm disappointed in you.
I don't want to hear the word dad come out of your mouth. You are not my daughter anymore. Get that through your thick skull. To me, it'll be like you were never even born. Whenever someone mentions your name, I will have no trace of who that person is. In my eyes, I've only ever had one daughter, and that's my brilliant girl Samantha. With you out of the picture, people will view this family with respect and admiration.
You've made your point. I get the picture. Don't think this hurts me, though. I've already received all sorts of abuse from you, so this is nothing. I've never been emotionally attached to you to begin with.
To think you've stayed in this house for this long? How did I not think of this earlier? The amount of trouble it would have saved me if I got rid of you when you graduated high school. You should be more grateful for mine and your mother's patience.
We can argue on whether or not giving your own daughter a home is kindness or just common sense. Even if you did me a favor, it doesn't make up for the amount of abuse you've given me over the years. I'll never thank you for the life you've given me.
Instead of wasting time on thinking of smart comebacks to use against me, you should have worked towards becoming a successful person. Maybe if you stopped playing the victim all the time, you would realize that you talking back to your father is the exact reason he doesn't love you.
You can't fool me, Dad. I know no matter what I did in this life, you would have no respect or love towards me. That's why I'm lucky in a way. I don't need to live up to your expectation. I can pursue the things I want to without any concern for what you think about it.
You might have a point. With a face like yours, it doesn't matter how much wealth you accumulate. Just saying your name would leave a bad taste in my mouth. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. This may not be all your fault. Your mother being too soft on you is probably why you have this victim mentality. Who knows what she was telling you when I wasn't at home? I know she didn't push you to do your best in school. All this talk about positive parenting did nothing for you.
You have no right looking down on her. She was 1,000 times a better parent than you ever were. I don't know what I would have done without her. Because of her soft words at night, I was able to put up with all the insults from you. If she wasn't there every night, who knows where I would have ended up now.
Did you just say putting up? Who are you to complain about putting up with me? Did you ever think that maybe I was the one putting up with you two? Every night after a hard day of work, I'd stumble home into bed to my boring wife. Then the next morning I'd wake up to a noisy, ugly daughter. Don't get the wrong idea. I'm the one that has been suffering over the years.
Say whatever you want about me, I don't care. But don't you dare speak about my mom that way. You have no idea how much of a great person she is.
Everything I've said about your mother is true. I'm not putting her down. I'm just telling the truth about her personality. She is a worthless wife that couldn't even do the housework when I needed her to. She has no looks, no appealing characteristics, and nothing going on for her.
You are absolute scum. You know she's not worthless, and you know she did a good job around the house. I don't know why you hate her, but it is totally out of place. She was the best mother I could ask for. She protected me, supported me, and loved me just like a mother should.
The only reason I kept you around here was because I was hoping you would make a lot of money someday and eventually pay us back for the torment I've endured. But I think I've reached my limit. Even if you eventually came home with a lot of money for the household, I don't think I can stand another second being in your presence.
I get it already. It's useless trying to hurt me any more than this. I can feel how much you hate me, Dad.
How many times do you have to make me say it? I'm not your father. All I need is your sister Samantha. That girl is absolutely stunning. I have high hopes for where she's going. Right now, she is diligently working and earning a modest living. But I know someday some rich doctor will set his eyes on her. I'll be the happiest man alive seeing her at that wedding. I can just imagine it now.
Are you for real right now? You're imagining some make-believe wedding that's probably not going to happen.
Oh, it will happen. You can say it's destined to happen. Why do you think she became a nurse in the first place? A beautiful girl like her in the hospital will have everyone's eyes on her. When that happens, all she has to do is choose the right man.
Is this really how you look at your children? You don't know Samantha at all. Where were you when Samantha was little and helping those in need? She's been wanting to help people her whole life. Her and I would sit up at night talking about her dreams, and I almost grew tired of her about the amount of time she said she wanted to become a nurse. If you told Samantha the reason she was going to become a nurse was to marry some rich douchebag, she'd probably slap you.
Don't fall for all that nonsense. We all have to make up some excuse for why we do what we do. She's not going to sit in the interview telling them that she wants to marry a rich doctor. But it's a fact that that's why she's doing it. She has tactically positioned herself to be in contact with doctors on a daily basis. Soon she's bound to snatch one of them.
That's not Samantha at all. What in the world is going through your head when you're looking at Samantha and her life? She is a sincere, good-hearted person.
You're wrong, Candace. I don't care how many nights you've spent together, you don't know the real her. She's on her way to achieving great things, doing what you could never do. Even if by some miracle you managed to become a nurse, it wouldn't do you any good. You would have to be the last woman on earth for any doctor to want to marry you. Even then, I think he'd rather be single.
Who knows? I'm not interested in thinking about hypothetical situations that'll never happen.
Sure you're not. You just hate being reminded about how ugly you are. Doesn't matter anymore. There's no reason for us to keep talking. This is the last time we talk as father and daughter. Don't show your face to me ever again. Pack your bags and go. Go. And while you're at it, leave the rent money here too.
You know, up until now, I thought things were heading in a good direction. I actually felt that in time we'd be able to understand each other. Such a shame. I guess there will never be a day where I will feel the love for my father and give it back to him too.
You dumb, stupid girl. In what universe would that ever be possible? The only way there'll be peace between us is if we never come into contact with each other ever again. I feel nothing but negative emotions whenever I see you.
I'm the one to blame for this, clinging on to a false hope of reconnecting with my father. I should have cut you off way earlier.
Insolent girl, get the hell out of my house. Take that ugly face and get out. Don't ever contact me again. Hey, what the hell is going on? Have you heard anything about what's happened?
What do you want? I thought you were the one that told me to never contact you again. Did you forget? Saying that I'm no longer your daughter and that I'm a complete stranger. Why are you coming out of the blue and bothering me?
Seems you aren't just ugly, but also not a good listener. What I said was for you to never contact me again. I never said anything about me not being able to contact you.
That one-sided logic doesn't make any sense.
Anyway, enough with the idle chat. I'm gonna ask you something and I want you to answer honestly. Where the hell has your mother gone? She said she was going out this morning and she hasn't come back since. I've called her, left her voicemail, sent her messages, and I've got nothing in return. Something isn't right here.
For someone that puts me down all the time, you're quite slow, aren't you? Looks like you still haven't realized what's going on. You have no idea what this means.
What the hell are you talking about? Tell me everything you know.
I'll give you a bit of a hint. How about you look in the refrigerator? There's something in there that I think you'll find very interesting.
What the hell? You better have not done something weird. I don't want to look that in there and see a disgusting meal waiting for me. Huh? What am I looking at right now?
Open it up.
Can I ask why the divorce papers are mysteriously placed in the fridge?
I guess Mom was just trying to be smart and think what's the most likely place you could find them. Seeing as how you're always going back and forth from the fridge, it seemed like the best place. If she put it somewhere else like the drawers, you'd never find them. All you do all day is sit on your phone, complaining and eating chips while watching TV. I'm truly amazed it took you this long to find it.
Wait just a minute. Enough with the insults. Why the hell am I looking at divorce papers right now? I haven't said a word about divorce to your mother. We never came to this agreement.
Someday you have to realize, Dad, you can't always get what you want. You might not want a divorce, but Mom was thinking otherwise.
That old hag. Let's see how long she lasts without me. She's got no money and no skills to make money. I look forward to seeing her walking around the streets scrounging for pennies.
Compared to you, I think she has a lot of great qualities. You aren't in a position to put her down.
I don't expect my ugly, ungrateful daughter to understand how much of a great man I am.
You're right. Whenever you talk like that, I have no idea what you're going on about.
Enough already. Are you gonna answer my question or not? Where the hell is your mother?
She's sitting right next to me.
That's a laugh. So the uglies have formed an alliance. Pass a word on to your mother, won't you? Tell her if she comes back now, she'll still be in my good graces. I'll forgive her for trying to betray me.
I am absolutely dumbfounded that you can't grasp what is going on here.
Tell her to come home and treat me like the king that I am. Tell her to come home and treat me like the king that I am. I will never forgive her for this until she properly shows remorse for what she has done.
You don't get it, do you? She isn't interested in meeting you again. She doesn't want to see your face for a second time. You two will never ever talk again. Now do you understand what's going on? So, you two are now getting a divorce. It's going to be a long process and the finances have to be sorted out. Thankfully, she's already talking to a lawyer on that front.
I'm sorry, the finances? There is no sorting out the finances. That is my money.
Unfortunately for you, that money that you earned from your retirement is shared between you and my mother. She'll get a slice of that pie.
Are you completely insane? That's my goddamn money. That's not shared between anyone but me. And just so you know, sweetheart, you aren't getting even a cent of it. You or your wretched mother.
There is a good case that we can get that money. If there wasn't, I wouldn't even be having this conversation. Don't think it stops there. It gets even better from this point on. With all the abuse you've dished out to my mother, it's led to a heavy consolation fee.
The nerve of you two. Do you realize how much money I've invested into our family? You should be crying in appreciation of how much I've helped you.
I don't think you deserve to take all the credit for that. You weren't the only one working. Mom also had her own job. For my whole life, you told me you didn't want to waste a single penny on me or my future. Mom realized this and started working herself. Whenever I needed something, she was the one that provided for me.
Come on, you can't boast about some crap job at a supermarket. I know how much she earned from there, and it wasn't much. She's no better than a teenager working at a McDonald's.
It's exactly because of that type of abuse that she's gone now. She's put up with it for far too long. Maybe you didn't realize, but the reason she stuck around was to support me. She was always worried about what would happen to me if she wasn't there. I would have been happier if she just took me and lived somewhere else. I'd be better if she took me far away from you.
The victim mentality in you is so strong it's repulsive. Do you have any idea who was the one that raised you? Who was the one that kept you financially secure up until this point?
It was my mother. Financially, mentally, and spiritually, she supported me the whole way. Apart from her, I've had no one that has had my back.
You ungrateful little princess. Whatever, it's fine. Like I said before, I am done with you. You can rot for all I care. As long as I have your sister Samantha, I don't need anyone else. The two of you are just headaches that I had to put up with on a daily basis. You're doing me a favor by getting the hell away from me.
Oh boy, you sure are in for a shock. Did you really think it was just me and Mom turning our backs on you?
What? What the hell have you done?
So, you really know nothing about Samantha, do you?
Oh, what about her? What have you done to her?
She's gone, Dad. She'll be off in another man's arms soon. She's married.
Are you kidding me? Married?
Seems you aren't as close to her as you thought you were. She told me she was reluctant to tell you because you definitely not approve of the man she chose. But it's true. She's been married without you even knowing about it.
What do you mean I wouldn't approve of her getting married? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I've always supported the notion of her getting married. I don't know why she would think like that. Was this meant to be some big surprise she was going to spring on me someday? So, who's the doctor that she married? What type of a man is he? I'm very curious about the man taking my daughter away from me.
Again, Dad, I'm sorry to fail your expectations, but her partner is not some great doctor that you've been imagining. He's an aspiring musician who hasn't been selling much recently.
That's gotta be a lie. I know Samantha. She has high standards. She surely would have met a nice doctor at the workplace.
Well, she did meet someone there. The two met after he had surgery on his broken foot. Seems he fell off the stage while performing and broke it. I've met the guy. He's a really nice person. While he's a bit clumsy, he has a lot of good characteristics going for him. I'm sure he'll be a great husband to her. Whether or not he's going to make money is another story. Samantha said she's not too concerned if he doesn't make a lot of money. As long as he's a good man and he treats her right, she said that's enough for her.
Do you think that I'm gonna fall for some elaborate story? Samantha would never choose a man so lacking in value. Why would she sacrifice her long journey to become a nurse only to give herself away to a bum like that?
She's not sacrificing anything. She'll still keep doing what she's always done, with the exception of coming home to the arms of a good man at night. Plus, considering her new husband isn't bringing in much income, someone has to take care of the finances.
She must be as dumb as you. She's gonna let some bum leech off her? I honestly can't believe what I'm hearing right now.
She's inspired by his dream to be a musician. She wants to support his dream in whatever way she can, including financially.
What a load of nonsense! That isn't the daughter I raised. And? So if she starts piling all her finances into this guy, where is she gonna get money for this household?
Dad, I think it's time you fessed up. Everyone knows now. You've been taking money away from Samantha for quite some time now, haven't you?
Don't try and talk down to me like that. You don't know the amount of money I've put into her, so don't make assumptions about me when you don't know the full story. I'm taking the money that I've invested into her over the years. What's wrong with that?
I think we both know that you've taken more than what was owed. The situation has changed, Dad. From this point on, she'll be financing her new husband. I'm sorry to break it to you, but there's no money left to give to you. I guess this is what happens when children grow up.
First you, and now my beloved Samantha. Just what the hell is going on recently? When she gets home, she is getting a good lecture. I never thought the day would come when I'm angry at my good old Samantha, but I guess I have no choice.
Dad, you're missing the point. She's married now. She isn't coming home. Plus, she's an adult now. She doesn't need to hear any lecturing from you anymore. It's been 1 week since those two got married. Haven't you thought it was weird she hasn't been home for a whole week?
Well, it did cross my mind, but I just assumed that she had a lot of things to do at work. You know how nurses work being on call overtime. I just assumed that she was doing night shift for the whole week.
Even if she was doing a night shift the whole week, why wouldn't she come home during the daytime?
I assumed she was. I've been so tired lately. I've been sleeping during the day as well as night.
Don't lie. I've heard what you've been up to from Mom. She told me you've been sitting at that laptop all night doing God knows what. So I guess if you had a normal sleeping schedule like the rest of us, you'd notice when your daughter has been absent from the home.
So, what are you telling me? Samantha really isn't coming back here?
No, Dad, that's what I've been saying this whole time.
That won't do. She's my daughter. I'm not just gonna let her run off wild. It's her duty to obey her father.
What do you mean, obey her father? Just how delusional are you, Dad? She isn't a child anymore. She's a fully grown adult making her own decisions.
We'll see about that. She won't be feeling like an adult when her father comes to her workplace to drag her home.
Nice try. Look around the hospital all you want. She doesn't work there anymore.
I'm sorry, what? Why?
As you like to brag all the time, Samantha is a really clever girl. She knew you'd do something abrasive like that. She took measures to leave that hospital before you could do anything. You were doing exactly as she predicted.
That's fine, because as my other daughter, you're gonna tell me where she is. Now spit it out. Don't act stupid, I know where she lives.
Daughter? Whatever happened to treating me like a complete stranger? I know where she's gone, but I'm not telling you. Why would I tell a stranger where my sister works?
Enough with the stupid comments. Where is she?
I don't tell strangers that type of information. This is the rule you decided. Don't get angry at me for playing by your rules.
Fine. If you don't want to tell me where she is, tell me where you are. I'm dragging your mother back here. That arrogant woman really thinks that she could just run away from me?
I'm even more reluctant to tell you where she is. Mom and I are enjoying our lives away from you. It's been so long since we've had a breath of peace. Life is so different without being abused by you every day. We will never go back to that lifestyle again.
So, I've lost my wife and my precious daughter, Samantha. The hell am I supposed to do now? What about the house? Did you guys ever think what would happen to the house if no one was there? There are no women around here to manage it.
How about you do it? Housework isn't a woman's job, it's an adult's job.
I won't degrade myself to the point of cleaning the house. I haven't done it in my life.
That makes sense. I had a feeling you'd say that. Mom was the one that always took care of the house. You never lifted a finger once.
So this is it, is it? No one is coming home and I'm gonna be here on my own?
That's right. Took you a while to get it.
Well, it looks like I have no choice. I guess I'll just have to have you do the housework then. That so-called father's love that you've been yearning for all these years, I'll give it to you in exchange for a clean house. Actually, no, that won't be enough. You can put more money into the house as well. Then you will have my respect as your father.
You absolute dirtbag. How dare you make that type of proposal right now? No, I think I've had enough. It's my turn to cut ties with you now. After you've paid the consolation money and separated the finances between you and my mother, we're done with you.
As if I'm gonna give you money. Why would I do that and put myself at a disadvantage? How am I gonna get by? I won't have any money to cover my living expenses.
Don't know, don't care. You'll figure something out. Maybe you can go look for a second job.
I don't get my pension until I'm 62. You and Samantha will just have to support me until then. I'm sorry, but you guys don't have a choice. Would you rather I starve to death?
We aren't going to be paying you that money.
You don't have a say in the matter. You two are my daughters. It is your job to support your parents. That's what I did with mine, and that's what you will do with yours.
Look at you playing the victim card. If you put your mind to it, I'm sure you can find another job. You aren't that old. Figure it out on your own. We're done associating with you.
You aren't serious, right? You wouldn't do this to your own father.
Oh no, we are very serious. Now, I think I've said all that needs to be said. I don't have much else to say to you, so let's leave it at that.
Candace, wait. Let's just put all of this behind us. It won't help anyone by having bad blood between us.
Put it behind us. My mother, myself, and Samantha have done nothing wrong here. All of this is a result of your viciousness. Take us leaving you as a sign from God that you've done the wrong thing. You're paying for your cruelness over the years. So long and goodbye.
Hold on. Candace, you are now my only daughter. Don't leave me. I need you, please. Come back and support me. Don't abandon your father.
Thanks to the help of a capable lawyer, we were able to get consolation money and the finances ordered perfectly. Unable to take the pain of losing his family, my dad took to games and gambling to ease his sadness. Despite venturing into the gambling world, my dad was unable to make much money. In a short amount of time, he was left penniless. With what little money he had left, he tried his luck again in hitting a big fortune through gambling. Far from doing that, he racked up a massive debt. He is now living a life working from the early morning till late at night to pay off his debt. Seeing as he has no experience cleaning, his house is an absolute mess. Consequently, he's been incessantly messaging us to give him money and to clean his house. We were left with no choice but to block his number. As for me, I'm living a peaceful life with my mother. My company's doing quite well, and my sister and I are getting along. The next goal on the horizon is saving up enough money for my mother and I to buy a house for ourselves. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, please remember to click the like button. See you in the next video.